My husband left me for his mistress and took everything from the apartment. For the first month, my daughter Mina and I slept on mattresses and ate on the floor. He would call and ask, "So, how's life without my money?" Like he'd ripped my soul out and wanted to check if I was still breathing. If you're watching this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments where you're listening from. I'd love to know just how far my story has traveled. But then, almost overnight, it felt like a miracle happened. Within a year, I was waking up with sunlight pouring through a kitchen window I could finally call mine. Real furniture, real food, real peace. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. When Davi left, he didn't just break my heart. He stripped our lives bare. The bed, the fridge, the TV. Hell, even the forks. I'm not exaggerating. My daughter was 8, and she kept asking, "Can't we just buy new ones, Mommy?" I didn't have the heart to tell her that I had exactly $312 to my name. I thought about moving in with my cousin Ananya, but she already had 3 kids in a cramped flat. I couldn't add 2 more bodies to that chaos. So we stayed, mattresses on the floor, eating instant noodles with plastic spoons from 7-Eleven. Nights where silence echoed louder than any fight we'd ever had. And the worst part? The phone calls. Davi called every few days, sometimes smug, sometimes drunk, always cruel. "So, how's life without my money?" he'd sneer. He knew exactly what he was doing. He'd always hated that I gave up my job to raise Mina, even though it was his idea. When the landlord called about rent, I realized the lease was in Davi's name. I felt my stomach drop. That's when she appeared, Mrs. Agrawal, the landlord's wife, always in a crisp sari, eyeliner sharp enough to slice through arrogance. I used to think she barely noticed me. But one morning, as I dragged a broken vacuum down the stairs, Mina's backpack slipping from my shoulder, she stopped me with a single sentence. "Leave it. Come upstairs." Her tone wasn't a suggestion. She handed me chai in a real mug. Not plastic. Real ceramic that clinked when I set it down. She didn't look up from her knitting when she said, "I know what happened. My husband's soft. I'm not. You'll pay half rent for 2 months. Then full. You're not going to be one of those women who collapses." Something in me cracked. I don't know why the tears came, but they did. Maybe because, for the first time since Davi left, someone actually saw me. That lifeline changed everything. With a half-rent break, I found a part-time tutoring job nearby. I'd been an English teacher once, before I gave it all up for Davi's ambitions. 2 hours a day, but enough to feed us properly. And that's when the kindness began to multiply. Syra from Tubi brought us her old microwave. "I'm upgrading," she lied. Loredana from Mina's school gave hand-me-down clothes. Everyone showed up. Everyone but Davi. And somehow, that was the start of my miracle. I didn't realize the miracle was already unfolding the moment Mrs. Agrawal told me to leave it and come upstairs. It was the first time in months someone had spoken to me without pity, just firmness and faith. That moment was the start of my comeback. When Priyanka mentioned the proofreading job, it felt like life had finally taken my side. I hadn't touched an edited draft in years, but my fingers remembered. The smell of coffee, the quiet clicking of keys, it all came rushing back like I'd just been waiting to breathe again. The night I turned in that first test file, I stayed up until 3 a.m. rereading every line. I wasn't just trying to impress her. I was trying to prove to myself that the version of me Davi buried wasn't gone, just hidden under years of silence. When Priyanka emailed back the next morning, "You're hired," I cried again. But this time, it wasn't from pain. From there, everything changed. I bought a $40 desk from Facebook Marketplace and squeezed it into the corner of our second bedroom. It wobbled, but it was mine. Mina called it Mommy's office, and every morning before school, she'd peek in whispering, "Good luck with your stories." Work started to pour in. By April, I had 10 clients. By June, I had a steady stream of projects and an inbox full of thank you notes from writers who loved my edits. I wasn't rich, but I was stable and proud. Then came the mother-daughter dance night. Mina brought the flyer home, waving it like a golden ticket. I wanted to say no. I didn't own a dress that fit. My hair was always in a messy bun, and the thought of dancing under bright lights made me want to vanish. But she looked at me with those hopeful eyes and said, "We can dance barefoot, Mommy." So we did. That night, we twirled on the gym floor, her laughter echoing against the walls, her tiny hands gripping mine. I hadn't felt that free in years. Somewhere between her giggles and the music, I realized something. I didn't miss Davi. I missed myself. After that night, I started writing again. Just small things at first. Essays, short stories, even journal entries. One of my editing clients, a journalist named Farah, read one of my drafts and said, "This is good. You should publish this." I almost laughed. Me? Publish again. But she pushed. I sent my essay to an online magazine, not expecting a reply. 2 weeks later, it went live, and the comments started rolling in. Women writing, "Thank you for putting this into words. I thought I was the only one." Then came the email that changed everything. "Would you be interested in writing a book?" A small publisher. A small advance. But a huge moment. I signed the contract and cried. Not because of the money, but because for the first time in years, my name was on something that was mine. It was a quiet Sunday morning when karma finally knocked. Loredana, my neighbor, sent me a screenshot out of nowhere, a Facebook listing. "Moving out. Everything must go," it read. The seller's name. Davi's mistress. I stared at the photo attached, our old sofa. The same one he took from the apartment like a trophy. It looked smaller somehow, like time had shrunk it. The post had a price tag, $150 or best offer. I didn't laugh. Didn't even smile. I just stared for a moment, then closed the tab. Because the truth was, I didn't need revenge. Watching someone lose the life they stole from you, while you quietly build a better one, that's justice enough. That afternoon, Mina and I went shopping. We bought a new sofa, mustard yellow, deep cushions, soft as a dream. "This one looks happy," she said, jumping onto it as soon as it arrived. I laughed because she was right. It did look happy. It looked like us, bright, imperfect, alive. A week later, we bought forks. Real metal ones. Matching plates. Things that felt permanent. And for the first time since Davi left, our home felt full. Not because of the furniture, but because of peace. Now, when I wake up to sunlight spilling through my window, I don't think about what I lost. I think about what I found. Strength, grace, and the woman I used to dream of becoming. We're going on our first trip soon, just me and Mina. A small beach town near where I grew up. She wants us to buy matching journals. "We'll both write our summer stories," she said. I smiled and told her, "Then let's fill every page." So yeah, my husband left me with nothing. But his leaving made room for everything I was meant to have. And if you're watching this, wondering how to survive your own heartbreak, just remember, rock bottom isn't where your story ends. It's just the tunnel. You don't stay there. You pass through. And when you finally step out, blinking into the light, you'll see it too. The life that waited for you all along. Yellow Heart.